to my review for Eddie the Eagle, directed by Dexter Fletcher, written by Sean McCauley and Simon Felton. It stars Taron Egerton, Hugh Jackman, Joe Hartley, Keith Allen, Jim Broadbent, and a special appearance by Christopher Walken. And it's based on the true story of Eddie Edwards, the notoriously tenacious British underdog who surprised the world and charmed everyone at the 1988 Winter Olympics. I'm always up for these motivational movies about true stories because, you know, the real world sucks. So that's why we all love movies, isn't that right? Well, Eddie Edwards is a very charming story. When you watch this movie, you will feel that it beats every single beat every motivational movie beats, especially the ones about sports and about underdogs. But it's a charming story. The characters and the actors in their performances are charming. You really feel the connection between Hugh Jackman and Taron Egerton and their respective characters. The journey of Eddie is really charming. You see his difficulties, you see his struggles. They were all natural and they did not become real just because of the sport. He was born with them and that didn't stop him from loving it. And I think this movie really teaches you a great lesson about just trying. Just go out there and seek your opportunity and try to shine. If you fail, know that you tried your best and never stop before you tried your best. You might not achieve it, but you will have tried. And that's what matters. And that's what Eddie the Eagle did, and that is what he accomplished. I know some facts about the true story of Eddie the Eagle were mixed up in this movie. I've heard his father supported him in real life, and that is not the case in the movie. You have to change things sometimes to tell a beautiful narrative, a good narrative, a good story. That's the first job of a movie, tell a good story. And if changing the father's motivations and ways of being in this movie was for the purposes of that, which watching the movie I think it was, then I don't mind, because it made up for a great story and it made you feel even more for the character. I love Taron Egerton in this movie. You can really see that this guy is versatile. He has a good range and I really hope he gets picked to be the young Han Solo. And Hugh Jackman, this guy is just great. He's a great actor and it's great to see that he doesn't need to be Wolverine all the time to be great and to be in good movies. You see this guy's story and yes, you've seen it before, but Hugh Jackman brings some different and new energy into it and it really seems refreshing at the time. But my friends, there's one scene in this movie where you will look at Hugh Jackman and you will see Wolverine, because the only difference between what he does in one particular scene of this movie and Wolverine is that he has a cigarette and not a cigar. I laughed my ass off at that scene. And speaking of laughing, this movie is so funny, but the comedy comes from the characters and it's the most natural comedy, the most natural jokes. It comes from the story they are telling. It comes from what is happening in this movie. This movie doesn't stop to tell you a joke. It tells a joke while it's going, contributing to the narrative. I love Joe Hartley as Eddie's mom in this movie. She's great. I mean, everyone in this movie is so freaking charming. Well, except for this guy. He was an asshole. Yeah. This guy. You're an asshole, sir. Have a good day. Guys, Eddie the Eagle will get you motivated to go out there and just try. Anything you are doing right now in your life, just go out there. Try. I have to say that for me personally, this movie worked because I could feel for the character. I can tell you guys that I personally really related to Eddie the Eagle. There's something he says in this movie that basically sums up his whole character, who he is, what defines him, and it was very much like me. That this guy, at least in the movie, this character, he really thinks like me, and I was able to connect. Maybe I like the movie more than many of you because of that, and maybe some guys like the movie as much as me, but for many different reasons. So let me know in the comments below. Guys, I totally recommend you to go see Eddie the Eagle, and I will give it a martini. It's a good time anytime. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review and let me know what you thought of Eddie the Eagle and if you related with him in the movie. And tomorrow I will bring you my second episode of Morphin Reviews, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 2, and we are almost at 100 subscribers. There's only 10 left, guys. Hashtag it in the comments below, road to 100, and I'll see you in the next review. Cheers.